Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about anthology series. It's something that, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that I don't really like them. Because this comes up quite a bit because, a show that fits, under the anthology umbrella is Black Mirror. It's a show that I've heard, nothing but good things about. Yes, there's hit and misses with episodes, but generally people recommend that show a lot, all across the board. It's a series that I've always kind of oh, check it out, but I've just never taken the time to, and I think it's because it is an anthology series. Because for me, anthology series, and there are different types. There are the seasonal anthology series like American Horror Story, which I like. They change up their stories every season to something else. And then there's episodical stuff like Black Mirror, which is there's a different story every episode. And I think the reason why I don't like them is because I like stories that follow the same character. That's why I lean more towards American Horror Story. Even then, that's still a situation of every season the characters and the stories change, which obviously any other narrative, the story will change as well. But it's I think I like stories where I get to follow a set number of characters all the way through. And maybe that's why anthology series seem a lot more appealing to some people, because it's oh, you get a new, fresh batch of characters and stuff like that. But it's especially in Black Mirror stuff, because a lot of Black Mirror stuff is kind of ooh, that's kind of depressing, so you kind of probably wouldn't want to follow someone's story too much. I mean, obviously I've heard talk about later, at least stuff in the fourth season, at least in particular, kind of a spoiler, but the fourth episode kind of connects some of the stuff, making it seem like it's in the same universe. Apparently, I remember a while back, I remember bringing this up, but apparently the same thing can kind of be said about American Horror Story, that later stuff kind of connects all the seasons, which I think people kind of like one-off things, of just oh, this is one compact story. Whereas me, I like the narrative constantly growing and building upon itself. Is kind of what, like I said, I don't know, because to me, characters is one of the reasons why I like a story, because I like a story because you get to follow these particular characters' adventures, you get to know them, you get attached to them. With anthology stuff, you typically can't. So that's why even stuff even though I like some stuff I've seen in the Twilight Zone, I've never watched a lot of it simply because of that whole anthology aspect of it. And it's just I don't know, I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing about myself that I never really thought over and knew before. A great example would be Stranger Things. I've never heard anyone else bring this up, but the Super Best Friends, in particular Wooly, kind of brought up the fact is that, before season 2 came out, this was after season 1, he didn't want things to kind of continue where they were. As you know, with Stranger Things 2, it picks up with the same characters and the same story as season 1. But the fact is, Wooly, for example, didn't want that. He wanted it to kind of be more like an anthology series. We keep kind of the similar thing with American Horror Story of it's a different story, different characters every season. That's kind of what he wanted. I mean, which is, it's okay, because I can understand that, because with the way that Stranger Things is built, with the whole upside down, you could do a lot more with that. You can make it kind of a worldwide series, oh, these particular characters dealing with this particular aspect of it being oh, this upside down. Me personally, I prefer it being the way it is, where it's we follow these set amount of characters. I mean, to be fair, who knows, Stranger Things 3 would probably be a continuation of that, but maybe after a certain point they would shift over to a new cast, new characters, new location, maybe something like that. I mean, it's all focused on Hawkins in general, but still, it like I said, it is a story that could take place elsewhere, in other areas. And that's even something I brought up when I was talking about season 1. It'd be interesting to see them make it an anthology series where it kind of followed different people seasonally during different situations with this whole upside down, sure, but I do kind of prefer it the way it is. I know people kind of got their mixed feelings about season 2. In particular, the episode I always hear is episode 7 is the one, which I never had a problem with it. I don't get people's problem with it, but I guess because it's such a disconnected episode in certain regards. But I kind of agree with the whole line of thought of well, because that's kind of set up for future stuff. It seems so odd and out of place, but at the same time, it's that's future setup, which I'm super excited about, So I guess at the end of the day, what it does come down to is the series, because even something like American Horror Story, even though I've watched some of it, I've not watched all of it. I fell super far behind. The last thing I watched was the first episode of Freak Show, which is season 4, so I got super far behind on that. So I think it's just because of that aspect of changing up seasonally. Even then, it's still kind of well, it doesn't draw me back in, because it's all I care about are these characters I got attached to over the course of this season. So I don't, even if because I'm fine with certain aspects of oh, we're adding in new characters in this new season, sure, but it's there's still this core group of characters that you're following that it's hey, I get to follow their story, I don't know, that's just how my mind works about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you a fan of anthology series? Yes or no? Tell tell me why? Or do you kind of lean more like to me where you're like, no, I prefer a narrative where it follows one set of people's stories all the way through? Or you kind of like, no, I'm fine with it changing up episodically? Or would you prefer your anthology to be seasonal, kind of like American Horror Story? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.